Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm your pilot wannabe, Papa Whiskey Bravo. We're in mid-flight on the fourth leg of the lower 48 capital cities tour. We're in the old suck and blow, the Cessna Skymaster. I'm at a pretty good distance from it, and I have the volume turned down because it's a loud, angry thing. But we'll revisit the flight plan and get back in the plane, and I'll see you there in a minute. All right, back in Sky Vector. Should have double checked where we were, but I kind of just jumped back in here. I think we're just about to the last waypoint. As a matter of fact, I haven't really worked very hard on when we're going to start the descent. This was all not the flight I had planned for today. I talked about that in the first part that I was originally going to do the 310. I was going to do the old I found this plane for sale and fly the 310 home, and the 310 was broken for some reason, so I decided to do one of its cousins, I guess, the Cessna 337 Skymaster. But yeah, we're in the neighborhood of the DNY VOR, and I also have the frequency of the VOR that's at our destination. Let's see, what is it? It's ALB, at Albany. So, which that makes sense. But yeah, not much to talk about on this. I guess we should probably, see what 284 feet. So I'm gonna just say we're gonna do a 1,300 foot pattern altitude if we end up doing a pattern. I've got the ATIS programmed in to COM2. I should look at the weather for Albany. Look on my phone real quick. Oops, wrong thing. Wrong button-itis. I have that a lot. Let's see, KALB is our destination. Wind is only 5 knots. Coming out of 030, it looks like. So yeah, we'll see. Seems like runway 1 would be the best, but it has a tower. We'll see what they say. VFR conditions, 2995 is the barometric pressure, so we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see you back at the plane. Okay, here we are. 5 minutes from that last waypoint. I may have come back too early, but I wasn't sure that I wasn't going to do something with the figuring the descent. The point at which we need to descend. See, we're pulling 160 knots over the ground, and we have 74 nautical miles to go to our destination. Oh, that seems like a lot of math that I really kind of don't feel like doing right now. Obviously, if I was a real pilot and really in this airplane, I would have to be doing the math. If I can remember how to do this. Let's see. Target altitude is going to be, let's make it 1,200 feet above sea level. Let's make it 5 nautical miles before our destination, KALB, I should say, and I want to descend at 500 feet per minute. I feel like this is pretty easy. Okay, begin descent in 9 minutes. I feel like this one's easier than than some of the supposedly newer, more complex garments that are simulated in the game, in the simulator. But yeah, so about 9 minutes to our descent. Very nice. Sure, that works for me. I ever put 112.10, never did it in COM2. 112, oops, 112.10. We go. Yeah, that's about the same. So our track is 044. Yeah, it's always a little off because, you know, the nose is pointed a little differently usually than the track you're actually covering. So, oh, I wonder how the fuel's going, since I gave no consideration at all to fuel before taking off. Let's look at these old 1970 gauges over here. Yeah, look at that. Looks like there's still plenty of fuel. Yeah. Cylinder head temperature looks high on these gauges, but how high is it on this annoying gauge over here? Yeah, right around 300, well, 322. Ooh, 353 on what? 32. Okay, cylinder 1. See, this thing is impossible to use with it jumping through like this. I talked about this in the first part, that some add-ons have a version of this that have buttons that you can get control of it, and this one does not, so it just keeps on rolling through. The temperatures are actually kind of high. Not that we can break this engine or these engines in this plane. This is a magic plane. Oh, there's the weather. 52 at 4, not quite the same as what real life was showing. 226, 2.10, 2996, ILS runway 1 in use. Sure. Now we'll stop monitoring COM2. There we go. 2996. I'm not going to change it until we start descending. I'll change it on this one just to help me remember. I'm not going to change it on the one that's attached to the autopilot. And that looks like 2996 by my reckoning. So, all right. Anywho, yeah, I'm not going to change it on the one that's connected to the autopilot until we start descending, and it won't really matter. Anyway, so I was thinking about opening the cowl flaps, since the engines seem to have a few cylinders that are running a little hot. Not that that matters. As I was saying, this is a magic airplane that we can't really break. It's a Coronado, so it looks gorgeous, but doesn't have a lot of systems depth. I have to say, I always like how the levers look, where you've got the throttles full, the props half-ish way back, and the mixtures. It was kind of cool that the mixtures are actually split. This isn't usually, this kind of thing doesn't usually happen on a plane that's this low fidelity, but I think it's because one engine's in front and the other engine's in back. It causes it to where even in a Coronado plane, you end up splitting the mixtures sometimes. But yeah, I like how the throttles will full forward, props halfway, and the mixtures are quite far back. It's just kind of a neat look. I don't know. And of course, it looks very similar in real life on my Honeycomb Bravo. Anyway, let's see how much time have we got till our descent. Why did it go away? The information. It's gone. It was showing how many minutes. What's happening? Why is this happening? Why is it not working anymore? Well, that's really strange. Well, okay, let's see. We need to lose a little under 8,000 feet, so that would be 16 minutes. Yeah, 15 or 16 minutes of descent. We'll call it 16 minutes of descent. So when we are getting down near 16 minutes, we'll begin the descent. And you know, I was talking about how I was going to make the pattern altitude 12 or 1,300 feet, but it's not like I could pre-select that in this plane. I just have to watch it. So, yeah, definitely an old school bird here. That's several minutes yet, almost 5 minutes until we need to start descending. Not really much else I can do. I am going to close the cowl flaps back up when we start the descent so that don't overly cool the engines, because you don't have any carb heat or anything in this plane. Again, not that we can break the simulated engine, but I forgot to mention before, this does have a prop sync switch, but I'm not convinced it does anything, and it doesn't have one of those little spinny wheel pie gauge things that some planes have, you know, to show that it's working. But it does have a prop sync. I can turn, yeah, prop synchronizer. I can turn it on. I'm not sure I hear or notice any difference, so gonna turn it back off again so I don't have to think about it later. Yeah, not much else to do. Much else to do but look around. Yeah, I like the visibility in this plane. And actually, this is one of the planes in the sim that has a bit of a weird glitch. You can have really, really good visibility if you want, because you can, like a ghost, you can stick your head right through the glass and look outside. Yeah, I try not to do it too much because, you know, not terribly realistic, but it's kind of funny though that your camera is intangible in this plane. You can even sink right down through the floor. Yep. Get a bombardier's view. Yeah, I should have done this for the landing gear. This would have been a fun way to watch the landing gear, because the gear's up in there somewhere, all closed up. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, yeah, there's the wheels. There's the main wheels. That's kind of crazy. Yep, I'm still in the cockpit camera, believe it or not. This is a little bit quieter way to look at the outside. Okay, I'm going to hit the button to recenter me back in the seat, so watch your stomachs. Boom, there we go. Alright, 18 minutes. Yeah, I was thinking about pausing the recording and cutting away and coming back, but we might as well wait and at least begin the descent. And then maybe I'll cut out part of the descent. We'll see. Actually, honestly, trying to remember how the best way to make this plane descend. Been a long time. Like I said, I wasn't intending to be flying this plane today, but here we are. And you know, besides not having a way to target an altitude before beginning the descent, I also don't really have a legitimate way to choose a you know, way to descend, as far as like a speed to hold or a vertical speed or whatever. You kind of do it with this dial thingy here. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can just back off the throttles and get it into a reasonable descent, and maybe the autopilot will hold it. Okay, well, almost down to the 16-minute mark. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and bump the mixtures up just a smidge. I'll bump them up together. And I'm gonna bump the RPMs up just a little bit, closer to 2500. And I'm going to back the throttles off down to 19 psi. But I'll have to monitor that as we descend. It'll go up as we descend into thicker air. The psi will increase, and I'll have to back the throttle levers off more to keep it down. Okay, so what if I disengage the altitude hold right now? Okay, and what if I trim it nose down a little bit? Why is the trim still fighting me? Why is the trim still fighting me when I've disengaged the altitude hold? Well, let's do it this way then. There we go. That nosed it down some. Give it another little bump. I'm rolling forward with the mouse wheel while I'm hovering over this wheel. Okay, that ended up being too much, but we're gonna kind of monitor that. Okay, I'll pull it back. Well, no. Let's leave it there. I just need to try to keep an eye on it. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm obviously no good with that sort of stuff. Back the throttles off a smidge more. Make sure we're at 19 or below. 19 psi or below. We're down to 39 miles from our destination. When we get down to 30, I'll try to call the tower. Okay, this still says from. It's weird. I thought I had set it to Albany. Yeah, ALB. There's a VOR at the destination. Albany. So it's 115.3. Yeah, okay. I just didn't do everything I was supposed to do. 115.3. Now that should change that to 2. There we go. Roughly on that radial. Let's see, we're still 500 or 600 feet per minute. Yeah, look, see the even this short period of time and the PSI has gone up very slightly. Let it go for now. Oh yeah, I should close the cowl flaps. Keep the temperatures from dropping too quickly. Yeah, like the cylinder head temperatures did drop some from the last time I looked at these needles. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, what else can we be doing here? 5 miles to go before I'm going to try to call the tower. Things are looking good outside. Weather still looks good. See, the weather radar is set to 80 miles. It's not showing anything, so let's go ahead and turn that off. We won't have to think about it later. Still descending a little fast. If we end up getting too terribly low, too far from the airport, we'll just level off and cruise at an altitude above the pattern altitude until we get a little closer. We'll see how it goes. Seems like there's something I thought of. Oh yeah, it's 2996, I believe, on the altimeter. 2996 should be there-ish. Well, close enough. All right, let's see if we can get the tower up on this stupid ATC. Man, I hope the ATC is better in Flight Simulator 2024. All right, we're looking for KALB, as I recall. KALB. So far, no joy. KALB. Yeah, too many airports out here. It's still too too far out. Yeah, I mean, I could look up the frequency and I could manually put in the frequency here and it would be just easy peasy. But if I do that, the ATC and the simulator won't register that I've done that. I have to pick it off of the menu, and then I'll be able to call the tower and request a full stop landing and all that stuff. Here. I mean, if they just fixed that in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I would consider it a major improvement to the ATC. If they fixed that, and then the second thing I would like them to fix is that when you're on, actually using an IFR with the ATC, if the ATC would not try to get you to climb to ridiculously high altitudes when you're a few minutes away from the destination, that would be nice. But we'll see. Yeah, I never did remember what in part 1 I talked about that I had just watched a video and heard something I thought was really cool about Simulator 2024, and now I cannot remember what it was. Oh yeah, now I remember. I do remember. They talked about the add-on airplanes, trying to make it to where you can take the add-on airplanes for a spin before actually buying them, before actually buying the software. That would be fantastic. That would have saved me a few dollars. I'm not going to say how much. I don't know how much. If I had to guess, I wouldn't guess how much that money that would have saved me. I don't know, $50, maybe more. I'm not sure. But yeah, you'll be able to take them for a spin before buying them. I guess it's kind of a little up in the air. It probably requires cooperation of all of the companies that are going to make add-on planes, add-on software. But yeah. Ooh, we got to bring the throttle back down. Look at that. Back down to 19. I got to talking and forgot what I was doing there. All right, how are we doing here? We're at 5,500 feet. We've still got 8 minutes to go. We've got to lose around 4,000 feet. That's like 8 minutes at, we were descending at 500 feet per minute, but for some reason that's bottomed out. Let's give this another nose forward bump here. There we go. Yeah, you gotta kind of stay on this plane. Yeah, our airspeed picked up a bit. Ground speed's not crazy, considering we were running like 160 almost the whole way. We should be having a bit of a headwind here, according to what SkyVector said when before I took off. Anyway, how's our EGT doing? Do I need to bring the mixtures up anymore? Keep the heat up in the engines? If anything, it started to drop a little. We'll leave it there. And what's the temperature outside? Out of curiosity. 60 degrees. Man, that's crazy. 60 degrees Fahrenheit, I should say. We'll turn the heat off in the cabin. Not that we have any idea what's going on in the cabin. Seems like it would have been a simple thing for all of the planes to include some sort of a thermometer for what's going on inside the cabin, so you could play the cabin temperature minigame in all the planes. That would be fun. But no. Alright. Backing the throttle off a smidge more again. It's already right back up to 20 psi. Man, this is a loud plane, even on the inside. I've never played with the simulator with a headset on, a full both ears headset on, until I started recording the videos, and yeah, I was really missing a lot of sounds, I guess, because I tend to, when it's coming through the TV, have it fairly low. I have worn a headset before when I'm doing multiplayer, but that's usually just a one ear, and I don't necessarily have the sound of the, well, I have the sound of the simulator turned down then usually so I can hear the person I'm talking to. But yeah, I've never had it just piped straight through right into my ears like it is right now. And man, planes like this plane is loud. Oh, you know what? We need to call the tower. We're ever closer. We're only 16 miles away. We ought to be able to come up with it now, huh? KALB, where are you? There it is. I just have to try to grab it before it moves. See, we already heard the ATIS, so straight to the tower. Request full stop landing.
Albany Tower, November 8-5 Papa Whiskey Bravo is 16 miles southwest, 3,700 feet with Quebec to land.
November 8-5 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
996. Enter left base, runway 1. Runway 1. I will answer her.
Fly left base, runway 1 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Alright, I wonder what the true heading is of runway 1. Of course we can look. Bank. Let's see what the true heading of runway 1 is. I don't have my reading glasses on. 358. That's what it looks like. 358. Okie dokie. Back over. 358. 358. That's significantly different than runway 1. 358. That's 1, 2. That's about there. That's 358. Okay. What's our altitude now? Now we're below 3,000. And we've got 4 minutes to go. I'm gonna, if I do it right, I'm gonna level us off at 2,000 feet because we're getting pretty close. We're still going pretty fast. Yeah, getting pretty close. Thinking maybe we should veer off to the right a smidge so we can get a good turning on to what'd they say, left. I guess they did say left, didn't they? Enter left base. Yeah, we're gonna need to turn to the right a little bit to make it a legit left base. It's just always a question of when to do that. We're still 9 miles away, so gotta get ready to hit the altitude button. Whoa, that's a big old warehouse. Oh, a whole bunch of warehouses. Yeah, crazy. Alright, 2,000 feet, hitting the altitude button. That ought to slow us down a bit. Oh, I guess I should, I said I should, I'll figure out what our speeds were, and then I never looked around to determine that. Flaps, we've got speeds in there. It looks like wow, can't see that thing. 165 for the first notch, 135 and 110. And then the gear doesn't say. I feel like it's the same as the first notch of flaps. Is it on here? Gearing speed, gear extension speed now at 139. 139, and it's a smidge higher than the first stage. So we'll just say it's 135 for both. 135 indicated for the first stage of flaps and for the gear. Oh, we gotta lose some velocity for that to work out. Oh, and I'm getting cleared to land already? Okay, switching to heading mode, turning to the right a bit, answering her.
Runway 1 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, where is the airport? I mean, I'm getting clearance. Oh, there it is. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and yeah, make it for sure like a 90-degree left turn. Matter of fact, I'm going to disengage the autopilot so I can start maybe losing altitude. I'm going to open the cowl flaps back up. I'm going to turn on landing and taxi lights. I'm going to back the throttle off a little more so we can lose more altitude. Now we've got the sun shining through one of the vertical stabilizers and casting a shadow on the back of the front propeller. That's always interesting. Okay, our runway's over there somewhere. Let's turn on the low fuel pumps. I'm just doing the things I think you're supposed to do before landing. Turn off the flight director. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. Okay, I gotta back it off some more. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a smidge and slow us down enough to put the landing gear out. You'll pardon me if I don't show you the outside view this time, because I'm of course getting behind the airplane and getting all kinds of busy. Now I can really dump the throttle, since if I had dumped the throttle this much before having the landing gear down, I would have gotten an alarm about the landing gear. Okay, I'm going full forward on the mixture, full forward on the props. Turning on the runway heading. We've still got a lot more flap we can use, especially now that we're below the speeds for full flaps. Yep, coming in high. I don't expect that anyone who maybe has watched all of any of my videos to be surprised that I'm coming in high and not necessarily fast. I'm definitely high on this one. Yeah, all white on the PAPI lights. It's supposed to be too white and too red, and they're still all white. I'm assuming the stall speed is way down there at 60 once you're at full flaps, which we are now at full flaps. Yeah, okay, I qualify as high and fast now. Still high, and definitely fast. See, landing gears down, fuel pumps on, flaps down, mixture and props full forward. Runway 1, Albany International. And I'm killing the throttle entirely. I'm a little high, but we'll shut off a lot of speed on the floating landing there. Well, not my best landing, but certainly not my worst. By a long shot. See, I wonder if I should exit to the left or the right here. They never tell you that. I guess that's another thing I'd like the ATC to tell you. Okay, we're gonna try turning left, because I feel like a little plane like us is not supposed to be over there by the tower, per se. But, oh, those are big planes over there. Still might have been wrong. Sure thing, lady.
Going to 121.7 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
All right. What was that, 121.7? Never mind, we'll just do it this way. I'm kind of curious. Request taxi to parking.
Albany ground November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo taxi to parking.
November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Delta Alpha Charlie.
Ooh, that's too loud. Well, it
Taxi
doesn't have
to
us
general
crossing the
aviation
runway,
parking
so
via taxiway Delta Alpha Charlie
I guess
Papa
I did the
Whiskey
right thing.
Bravo.
All right, let's turn off the landing light and the strobe light. Let's turn off the fuel pumps. The cowl flaps are still open. Weather radar's off. The transponder is now off. Switch this to the north up one and zoom it in. And my dog is barking like crazy outside, like an idiot. Let's see, not much else I need to do. So let's turn on the taxi ribbon for a second and see. Way over there somewhere. Back around that way. Okay, sure. Now I'm taxiing with just the front engine so as not to overheat the rear. No one likes an overheated rear. I mean, I'm assuming no one likes an overheated rear. I haven't, asked everyone. Matter of fact, I haven't asked anyone, but I'm just assuming that most people aren't going to like an overheated rear. All right. Even read, I think, where some people turn the rear, just kill the rear engine once they've landed. Let's go ahead and do that. Just pull the mixture. Okay, killed the rear engine. So we definitely don't have to worry about it overheating now. Taxi ribbon. It's taking us. Wow, it's parking us right in between all the big boys. That seems wrong. I'll have to watch on the recording to see if I actually chose taxi to parking or did I accidentally choose taxi to gate. Because I swear that's more like the gate. Going to. Curious. Dog is still barking like crazy at the neighbors. The neighbors just put in a pool. Neighbors right next door put in a pool. And my dog thinks that every backyard around here is his backyard. And so now all sorts of stuff's been happening in the backyard right next door. And he just doesn't know what to make of that. So. Okay, so it showed us parking just right by the building. Well, that's convenient. We'll just nose right up to the building and have us a little chit chat about the plane. Sure, that seems about right. All right, parking brake. I'm turning off all the lights except the beacon lights. I'm turning off the avionics. Turning off the alternators. Open the window and the door, although it probably won't matter. It'll slam shut as soon as I kill the last engine. Yeah, see, that's so dumb. Hopefully they get rid of that too, because there's just no reason for that. Okay, killed the engine. Gonna kill both magnetos at the same time with the switch, and kill the main power. And turn off beacon lights. That is that. And we'll pretend to get out. Okay. All right, that was the Cessna Skymaster 337H, also known as the Mixmaster, also known as the old Suck and Blow. I'm sure there's a lot of others. I was going to look it up before flying this plane, but I didn't know I was going to fly this plane today. By the way, I never mentioned this is the radar, weather radar emitter here. But there's the plane. I never did look up what our fuel usage was. Guess I could do it in our debrief here. We determined we were running at 103 pounds per hour. Let me find the place on the internet that does that. Then I'm going to have to go stop that dog from barking incessantly at the neighbors. 3 pounds per hour. It, for some reason, it forces you to go to gallons per minute. £103 per hour. Almost there, I swear. Gotta hit the calculate button. Calculate. 0.2 gallons per minute. So 2 gallons per minute. I feel like 0.2. I feel like I could do the math in my head, but I'm not feeling very math today. Yeah, 0.2 times 60 is Only 12 gallons an hour. Yeah. Only 12 gallons an hour. I mean, we were going 160 knots most of the time, which is not terrible. I mean, it's not Learjet speeds and not Duke speeds, but still pretty cool. I mean, if somebody gave me one of these planes, I would be happy. My stepson, who I fly with sometimes in multiplayer, I think this is one of his favorites for some reason. He just really digs this one. But yeah, that's a pretty cool plane. That was a pretty decent flight. I let the plane get ahead of me a little bit towards the end, but I managed to not completely bungle the landing. So, and the next one, I don't know where we're going. From Albany, New York, we're probably going. I think it's Vermont or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But that'll be the next one. That'll be a flight for another day. Hopefully, I can do the 310 here soon, if it's not still acting up. But either way, thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Papa Whiskey Bravo signing off.